How to heal from the death of your spouse or partner. When your partner or your spouse dies, there are many aspects of the relationship to grief, and the losses can begin to add up because you're not just losing a friend, but you're also losing a lover, a companion, and if you were in business together, a financial partner. Depending on how connected the roles were and how you guys divided up the roles in your relationship, you're now adjusting to that loss, as well as taking on new roles that you may or may not be comfortable with or feel confident in. The loss of a spouse or partner is unique to any other loss because this is someone that you are doing life with, that is present in your current life, and you have the experience of both sharing your body intimately with them, but sharing your hopes, your dreams, who you are on a good day, who you are on a bad day. You two have worked together, if you have children, to raise children together, not only give birth to children, but to see them grow up and to have an impact on their life. And each of you have had different roles in the life of your children. And now, without your partner, you're taking on both roles in some ways. And then if you've had a business relationship together, you've had finances that were tied into together, your partner was the person who coached you on when you weren't sure of yourself, or who was there to support you in your dreams and your endeavors, whether it be through school or through getting a new job. And they were the ones that when you felt sick, that they were there to step in and take care of you. And when they were sick, you were there to step in and take care of them. And so without that partner, now you wonder, who do I go to lean on? Who do I go to talk to? Who's going to know me as intimately as my partner once knew me? And the loss of a partner is experienced in performing daily tasks where one time you didn't have to take out the garbage, or you didn't have to figure out what we're going to have for dinner. And now you're the one responsible for figuring all those things out. And you're doing it by yourself. And when special occasions come, it's even harder. Who are you going to go to Thanksgiving or Christmas with? So the loss is profoundly felt during special occasions, during different holidays, and at home alone, where you once had someone to go to the movies with and laugh with and just be yourself and be comfortable with. That person is no longer there. And so the uniqueness of this partnership makes the loss so profound, because here is someone who you can share and who can know you intimately, both physically, emotionally, mentally, in a way that no other relationship can match. There are many feelings associated with loss. There's feelings of guilt, of fear, of loneliness, anger. You're going to feel some anxiousness where you feel uncertain because now this sudden loss has happened. Someone you love has been taken away from you. And you start to wonder, do you trust that you'll be able to survive the day without them, that you'll be able to handle whatever comes your way? And the sense of that lack of control, because we can't control the days that we have on this earth. And because of that, it can breed a sense of anxiousness. The feeling of feeling numb because everybody else around you seems to go on with their life, but you are in the process of grief, and it's hard to feel connected, and it's hard to feel joy at different celebrations and to feel the emotions that everyone else is feeling because you are in the grieving process, which is normal, but that feeling of numbness is hard to explain to other people what that feels like. There's going to be a sense of betrayal. There's going to be feelings of sadness, anger, loneliness, and you're going to feel not only emotional pain, but you might experience some physical pain, some sense of pain in your stomach or your side, or headaches because you've been processing the grief all night long and haven't slept well. And so it's pulling on you emotionally and physically as you go through the grief process. This is not an easy process, and it's going to require that you take care of yourself as you experience the grieving process so that you can have what you need to be able to handle the emotional fatigue that you're going to feel, and also the physical fatigue, because grieving is hard, grieving is heavy, and it takes a toll on your body. And missing your friend, missing your loved one, missing the partner that you walk through life with is a difficult time. But you can move through the process. You can grow from it. You can incorporate your loss into your present day, and you can come through this in a new way. So I want you to be encouraged that these feelings, you're going to go through them, and they're going to go through them in different cycles. So sometimes you'll be feeling fearful, other times the loneliness, other times the anger, and it's going to be like an emotional roller coaster. And I just want you to know that that is normal to go through that emotional roller coaster. And you're going to have moments of highs and moments of lows and moments of just being stuck and unable to describe the feeling. And it's a journey. Grieving is a journey, and it's important that people around you respect your journey, that they're empathetic, but they're also able to listen and hear and be present with you as you tell the story of your loved one, as you tell the story and explain the feelings that you're going through. Healing from a loss is a difficult process to go through. But what I like to tell my patients is that the very love that you're grieving is the same type of love that you need to heal. That the work of grief is to move love from a present, available, emotional attachment experience with another person to a permanent experience of love carried into the future. So you're going to take the love that you once had, and you're going to have that love work for you in the present, but also carry that love into the future. So the process is to experience the love changing, but as that love changes, as that experience of love changes, you'll have to begin to process the feelings of anger, rage, of guilt. You process the numbness, the anxiousness, the broken heart, to be able to move that love through where it's at now to a better, healthier experience of that love. And where you honor the memory of your loved one, where when you think of them again, you think of them with all the wonderful memories that you've had with them. And to get to that place, it's going to require time. It's going to require having a conversation. It's going to require, for some people, therapy to work through those emotions. And it's going to require that you give yourself the time that you need to move through the process. You know, grief is experienced at different times in different ways, and it's an ongoing process. And you have to be kind to yourself, and you have to give yourself time, and you have to take the steps, as slow as the steps may be, take them in a way that gives you the freedom to move at your pace, not someone else's pace, and to be able to work through the many different emotions, feelings, questions that you're going to have. Part of the healing process is sharing the story of your loved one with others, because your loved one lives on in the stories that you share, in the memories that you carry on, and that you let others to know about your loved one, about how they touched your life, what they meant in your life, the things they loved, the things about them that made you smile, the way that they brought out the best in you and the way that you brought out the best in them. Share that story of your loved one, and also accept the help that comes from friends and loved ones to share the load of carrying your grief. And one of the things that grief tends to make us do is want to isolate. We want to stay away from people because they require energy to talk to them and to explain what's going on. But the isolation makes that grief even heavier, and it makes it overwhelming because there's no one to share it with. There's no one to tell the story of your loved one with. So as much as sometimes you may feel like you want to isolate, accept the help of friends and loved ones who are genuine, who are authentic, who are not going to drain you emotionally or physically because they're present and they're asking so much or they're wanting so much. But those friends who are truly there for you and who truly want to help, accept that help, share the load, even if that help just means that they take care of some of the daily tasks to give your mind and your heart and your body a break so that you're not having to do every daily menial task, and that you have the energy reserved for the bigger stuff, or you have the energy reserved to sleep and to get replenished so that you can face the day. It's also important that you take daily positive action. just by doing small things. It's a success that we have in doing the small things that give us energy and hope to be able to do the next harder thing. And so take daily positive action. It doesn't have to be anything grand. You can take your time, but it's important to keep moving and to keep doing, because that's going to help you as part of your healing process, to see yourself being successful, to see yourself engaged in life, and to see yourself beginning to take on those roles and conquering some of those fears. Because the fear comes from the uncertainty of being able to handle things. But as you see yourself handle the small things and get good at handling them and then handling the bigger things, that fear begins to go away, because you're proving that you are capable, that you are confident, that you have the ability to take on these new roles, these new aspects, and to handle the things that life is bringing forth. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely going to be well worth it. If you find that you're getting stuck, that you're overwhelmed, that your sadness has now turned into depression and it's lasting for long periods of time, that you find yourself unable to get out of bed, you find yourself struggling to do the daily activities and meet the commitments that you have, it's important that you seek professional help as soon as possible. Because one of the most difficult things with going through the healing process is that you're not always going to be able to tell when it turned from sadness to depression, when it's getting worse, because one of the things that we do as we're going through healing is we find ourselves wanting to isolate, right? We want to stay away from friends and family because we feel like we're a burden, or we don't have the energy to really engage in conversation, so we think, why bother having them come over? And it's important that those are the times that you receive the help, that you let them come over, and that you let them sit with you and talk with you and share the load, share the burden. And if your friends and family are telling you that they're worried about you because they're seeing a lot of changes and they're seeing that you're not engaged and that you're withdrawing, it's important that you seek professional help. Seek the help of someone who can help you gain the coping skills that you need and help you work through some of the unanswered questions and the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts that you're having. It's important more than ever that you take care of your mental health, and by seeking professional help, you will be taking care of your mental health. It's important to take care of your emotional health, to not take on new tasks, to not take on things that don't fit you and where you're going and that add a burden to the grieving process. You deserve the time to heal and to not take on anything new, nothing additional, and not taking on caring for other people as you're trying to go through your grieving process. It's important that in this time that you be a little bit selfish in taking care of yourself, so that you can have the energy and the strength to heal and to come through this grieving process successfully. And being able to make sure that you're taking care of your physical health is extremely important, because you're going to need the energy. So one of the things that people tend to do is when they're going through the grieving process is they won't eat. And you need to eat because you need that physical strength to deal with the grieving process. Because when you're emotionally exhausted and physically exhausted, it's going to be hard to come through that process successfully, because you don't have the physical energy that you need to be able to endure the weight of grief. You know, grief can sometimes feel as if it's like a 500-pound blanket that's over you, and you just can't find a way to unroll that blanket and get it off of you. And so seeking professional help is a way to help you to unroll that blanket and take that 500-pound blanket off of you. Getting out of bed and doing stuff for your physical health, whether it's just taking a short walk with friends, or just getting engaged and getting connected to grieving groups and other people around the area that are grieving, and getting out there and sharing your story with them and letting them share their story with you, and finding camaraderie in that, because there are people who have been through the grief process and who are in different stages, and you can connect with people who are currently at the same place that you are or who are further along. And it's important to hear their stories, because that builds up hope, that builds strength. There's strength in numbers, there's strength in working with others who are understanding and who are accepting, because they're in the same situation that you are. So it's important to take care of yourself, get connected, and seek professional help. Whether it's long-term or short-term, seek professional help to help you to incorporate the grief that you're feeling and to begin to feel connected and begin to get the joy and hope that life has back into your life. For more information on grief and loss, visit our website at www.aspireandreachformore.com and also visit some of these other national resources that are listed here.